Today I will be discussing with you about a patient that I have of Japanese descent. This patient has come to me because he is suffering from symptoms of diarrhea, fever, fatigue, abdominal pain, cramping, blood in his stool, and also a reduced appetite and weight loss. After ruling out other possible causes of these symptoms, as well as performing a blood test and a capsule endoscopy, I have diagnosed this patient with Crohn's disease. Crohn's disease is an inflammatory bowel disease which causes recurring episodes of inflammation of the lining of any part of the gastrointestinal tract. There is no exact correlation between diet and the cause of Crohn's disease, therefore there is no certain way to prevent it. However, according to a recent study published in the journal Clinical and Transitional Gastroenterology, there seemed to be a link between vitamin D and Crohn's disease. According to these researchers, a deficiency in vitamin D can be linked to Crohn's disease, and on the other hand, according to their participants, a megadose of vitamin D seems to improve their symptoms and their quality of life. Perhaps Japanese suffering from Crohn's disease has more to do with their sun exposure or lack thereof than their diet. This may very well be the case considering that Japanese take sun protection to a whole other level. Japanese people take pride in their skin and take drastic measures to keep their skin as white as possible, and this may have everything to do with my patient's sickness. Japanese people are very disciplined with their sunscreen application, and it is very common to see them carrying an umbrella or wearing hats to protect them from the sun. Japanese insist on keeping all of their body parts protected at all times. Perhaps this patient's lack of sun exposure may be the cause of his Crohn's disease. Typically, the Japanese diet consists of rice at every meal, fish, soy sauce for seasoning, and tea as their beverage. Overall, their diet is very high in sodium. This seems to be the case with my client. After talking with him, I have learned that his normal meal plan consists of breakfast, lunch, and dinner. An example of his day's meal is as follows. For breakfast, my patient has tamagoyaki, miso shiru, gohan with uemboshi, takusano ino, and natto. For lunch, my patient eats chicken karane, potato salad, onigiri, arabiki, sausage, and some apple. For dinner, my patient eats a meal of saba shiyoyaki, nikujaga, sunomono, and genmai. I am encouraging my patient to avoid any and all foods that can aggravate his Crohn's and cause the current symptoms that he is suffering from. These things that were previous in his diet include mayo, oils, fried foods, red meat, and pork, as well as any food high in fiber which include fruits and vegetable peel. I am on the other hand encouraging my patient to consume foods such as oily fish and a good amount of peeled fruits and vegetables, some of which may need to be steamed or boiled to help lessen the irritation in his intestinal tract. The natto and uemboshi that he had previously been consuming should stay in his diet due to the probiotic in which it contains. These too may help ease his symptoms. An example of his new meal plan should be as follows. For breakfast, he can have tamagoyaki, miso shiru, gohan with uemboshi, and natto. For lunch, spinach tamagoyaki, onigiri, peeled apple. For dinner, saba shiyoyaki, sunomano, genmai, and natto. As I discussed with my patient, he should continue eating eggs because it is a good source of protein as well as the yolk being high in vitamin D. He should continue with his miso shiru because of its probiotic properties. The uemboshi on the gohan also has probiotic properties, so he should continue with that as well as with the natto. This, too, is full of probiotics. For lunch, he perhaps should have spinach tamagoyaki, again for the vitamin D and protein. He can continue with his onigiri as before, and he may also have his apple, however, this must be peeled. For dinner, my patient should have his mackerel, as it is a fatty fish and should help with his symptoms. He can still have his genmai as well as his sunomuno, as long as the cucumber is peeled. He can also have his miso shuru again, as miso contains probiotic properties. I also want my client to take a multivitamin and mineral supplement so that he can take in any vitamins or minerals that he will be lacking in his diet. I am hoping that with these changes in his diet, he will be able to get his Crohn's under control and be back to living a high-quality life.